Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. It's a lovely, dry day. It was wet earlier, but it's dry now. Chilly, little chilly, but hey ho, here we are. Yeah, welcome. It's Thursday. It's mid-June. The days are stretching into the night. June the 11th, Bill's signaling me from across the way. But anyhow, I'm here. My name is Kate Hull Rodgers, and I am representing today Stepping Stone Theatre for Mental Health. And we are a theatre company for people with mental health challenges and their friends and their family and their allies and their professionals. We are for everyone. And today we'll be talking all things mental health and maybe just all things. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce to you my co-host. I love this bit. A great humanitarian, a personal friend of mine. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, my husband, my partner in life and song, the one, the only, our Bill.
Good afternoon.
I amuse myself.
It's early, isn't it? It's early.
Yes,
Early.
Yes.
1:30. I'm normally still in the technical stage or the technical throes of getting this together, and I've had to get it together an hour and a half earlier.
You have.
So
thank you to the crazy crew who have joined us at
yeah,
this
welcome
earlier
crew.
time.
Welcome Deborah, Peter, Kelly, Gemma, Sue. Oh my goodness me, Wendy, etc., and anybody else who's there. Welcome crew, and welcome anybody who's listening in the background. As Kate says, we are Kate and Bill of Stepping Stone Theatre for Mental Health, and we're going to be talking all things mental health and maybe other things besides. And you're right about the weather. This is my ideal weather.
I know you love it, don't you?
This, for my mental health and everything else connected to it, is great.
I know. The first time I got hooked on grey days, right, was my girlfriend was over from Canada, and she said, "Oh, let's go out." And I was like, "It's overcast. It's yucky. Don't go out. Yuck, 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 yuck." And she said, "This is fantastic light to take photographs."
Absolutely.
And it's true, because a sunny, bright day is not the best exposure for a good photograph. But this kind of musty weather is perfect for photographs. And it was the first time that I went, yeah, I could learn to like this.
Absolutely.
And you've taught me over the last 25 years to appreciate the rain. Because when I lived in Vancouver, I wasn't fussed on the rain. But you've taught me this is good weather. And that's what we're having today.
Many shades of grey.
Many shades of grey.
Hi, Sam. You're a bit late. Hi, Haley. You're late on parade. Sam, you just made it in time for the Blue Nun Sherry. But Haley, I'm afraid you get the little stubby that's hidden behind the piccalilli that's been there since Boxing Day. But there you go. And Gemma, I'm afraid you... Oh, mate.
No, she was first.
I know she was.
Gemma was first.
She gets the good gin and the good whiskey. That's what I'm saying. So welcome, everybody. Yeah, a grey day, but many shades of grey.
Yeah.
Picasso loved coming to England and painting in this grey, you know, because the lights vary from...
That's right.
You know, from 3 feet under a tree, different light, 3 feet next to a building, different light. Fantastic. I love this weather. I love it.
You know who else really got into grey was Vincent van Gogh. Gogh, however you say it. He wrote a book called Dear Teo. His brother's name was Teo.
Yeah.
And I studied it in high school. And he wrote chapters on the varying shades of grey. So yeah, he's another artist that loved it.
And somebody else, this woman, did she recently? Is that an art book? That 50 Shades of Grey? Is that?
Yeah, you could say that.
I've never read it, but
you could say that.
It sounds as though that she's a bit of an art aficionado,
Yeah.
knowing the different shades of grey.
Well, I confess that I picked it up to read, you know, because everybody else on the planet was reading it. It was mummy porn. Anyhow, after about 20 pages, it was so predictable.
It's quite a thick book, isn't it?
Yeah.
Handy for standing on to get stuff off the top shelf. That's what I think.
That's what it's good for.
Yeah. Oh, Gemma says, ooh, the gin. Well, there you go. Enjoy. How are you, kid?
I'm very well.
Yeah?
I'm very, very well. Yeah, we had a lovely day off yesterday. And this morning, crew...
You always see when we're not on here as a day off, don't you?
Well, a day from not broadcast, a day where I wasn't responsible to anybody but us. So, I mean, I was on the computer, I was doing business, I was, you know, so yeah, bits and pieces of work, but I didn't have any scheduled activities. Like broadcasting is a scheduled activity. We said we'd be here for 1:30. We're here for 1:30. But anyhow, it was really good. And what I was just going to say is the other thing is I finally this morning got up with the alarm.
Yes, like Sam asked the other day, he said, "Did you get up, Kate?" Yes, she did. Today, Sam, she did it.
So I got up today and I did 20 minutes of stretching and calisthenics, just marching on the spot and that kind of thing, right? So I have started well.
This was based on having a conversation yesterday with your psychiatrist. One of the things that happened yesterday, and it was just procedure. It was a scheduled appointment. There was nothing wrong with Kate's mental health. And interesting enough, he rang on Kate's mobile, did Kate's psychiatrist, and I answered the phone, and I said, "Hello, Kate's phone," and he slipped up and told me his first name. He kind of went, "Oh, hello, it's doctor," and I kind of said, "Hello, doctor, first name. She's not here at the moment, but I will take you to her." And you had an appointment with your psychiatrist on the phone.
Yes.
Your very first on the phone
Yes.
appointment for your. It's like a 6-monthly assessment.
Yeah, I do. I'm on 6 monthly.
How was that?
It was really good, and he's a lovely man, and he does exactly as he's told. So he asked me how I was. I said I'd had a really good patch. I said I'd had a bit of a struggle. He said that people with coronavirus are responding strongly.
Yeah.
Either they are really struggling or they are really thriving.
It is interesting.
Said,
That's all the stuff I've read says the same.
I said, I'm thriving.
Yeah.
If you
But you've got this.
That's what I mean.
And other projects
this broadcasting is
and
wonderful.
your writing group.
And the writing group that I'm running is they are so fantastic. They just surprise me, and it's magic. If anybody's interested in joining us for the writing group, let me know. Drop me a PM, babe. But yeah, so I told him that I was thriving. And I said to him, the pregabalin, which is an anti-anxiety drug that I'm on, I said, I'm taking more at night than I am in the morning. What about switching that, since the morning is my struggle time? He said it might make you sleepy, but go for it. Just clock yourself, watch yourself, and if it suits you, go for it. If not, go back to the other way, or we may even reduce it. So here we are, 30 years into my mental illness. Actually, I worked it out. It's 34 years.
34 years, my gosh.
34 years.
My gosh.
And we are still playing with the medication, and that was me, initiated by me. But, this thing about if you do go down the medication route, it takes a long time, or it can. You can get lucky. But to really get the fit, because each of us is so different.
It does take a long time, but it's interesting now, this thing about being patient-led. So what do you want? What do you need? Gemma's just put, I spoke to my psychiatrist, Bill, come on. I spoke to my psychiatrist. I've had one of my meds lowered and another one added.
Yeah. And see, Gemma's bipolar, I believe. Yeah. And so we're playing with the medication. And because your environment, your other factor, always impacts greatly on your mood. So that's what my psychiatrist and I came up with.
Sharon said, "I'm sorry I'm late. I've just got back from a walk. I needed to get out." Well, Sharon, I'm afraid the only thing left to drink, my love, for you is flat tonic water.
Flat tonic
Yeah,
water.
somebody left the lid off.
You're really getting nasty.
Somebody left the lid off, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Been there since the day after New Year's Day, but
Heck
it's
of a
fine.
party.
It'll be
Heck
fine.
of a party. But well done for getting out for a walk.
So the advice that your psychiatric man gave you yesterday, yeah?
Yeah.
You're going to put it into practice? You're going to change the meds round?
I'm changing them as of today. So yeah.
How did that feel out, not having a one-to-one with him, not being in the same room and seeing
It's
it?
fine and dandy. I mean, the only thing that I would say is he definitely assesses how you're looking. How you're sitting, how your posture is, how you're speaking, how you're making eye contact. He's definitely an observer of the physical, and I'm sure that's how he's making his diagnoses.
Well, a lot of the time when we go in to see him, you always start with, "I'm keeping the weight off." 4.5 stone or whatever, and he just say, "Well done, you."
I know.
So there's something quite wonderful too.
Yeah. Well, I'm on olanzapine as well, which the side effect is weight gain.
I know.
And I know more than one person who's had big weight gain with it. So the fact that I've been able to trim off some weight and keep it off for 3 years, my psychiatrist is very happy with me and for me.
He is. I've been left to it with my doctor, not good, but doing my best, says Sue.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. But only your best is good enough for us. And Sharon says, "Oh no, I'm sorry, Sharon, but you should have got here earlier. But I'm afraid that's it. Flat tonic water."
Well, all I would say, if Sue's saying, I've been left to it with my doctor, if you need more help and more advice from your doctor, keep asking.
Yes.
Keep asking the question, because
Yeah.
they can only know from what you give them and what you tell them. And if you don't raise an issue with them, how are they to know?
Absolutely.
They're not mind readers.
Absolutely.
So if you're not happy with what your doctor is providing you with, keep asking. And and worst case scenarios, change doctors. It's not worst case scenario, but if you deem it necessary, keep looking until you find the right kind of help. We talked about this the other day about our psychoanalyst or our psychologist or you have to shop around.
And you can't. This is the thing about now. You can. I mean, when I was, what's CBD oil and can it help with anxiety? Peter, we're going to be doing an entire show.
Oh, what about it? Yeah.
Kate and I are doing an entire show about CBD oil.
CBD, babes.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't chastise me because I'm
Yeah,
dyslexic.
well, they'll think you're stoned.
No. No, well, I'm just telling you, like, hiya, Janet, welcome. We're going to be talking about it. We're still doing our research, so come back on that. We'll let you know.
But very briefly, CBD oil is an extract from the marijuana plant.
I'm sure it is.
The part that doesn't have the element that makes you stoned.
Well, I'm not sure why a Canadian is asking us
And
this when it's all been made legal in
It's
Canada.
all been made legal, marijuana in
Yeah, it's all
Canada.
legal in Canada
I know.
now.
I can't believe I can't even fly there.
Good, so let's not go down that route because
Okay,
we haven't
all right.
planned on that.
We need to do
today.
some more research, Peter.
Basically, what I'm looking for today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is your joy. Let's kick off with that.
Oh, yeah.
We found out how everybody is, and everybody's here now. Your joy.
What is your joy? You've had 48 hours to
48 hours to think
Yeah.
about what's your joy. Kate, I'm going to throw it over to you and say what's happened over the last couple of days
Okay.
that's brought you joy.
I will be brief, but I have a list. Yesterday we went to see our youngest son. Yeah, finally with social distancing and the releasing the letting up
the
of,
lockdown bubble.
of the lockdown, we were able to see our son. Haven't seen him since January. It was magic. All his little habits, the way he, does his little grin, the way he rolls his eyes, it was just wonderful. So that brought me joy. Another thing that brought me joy, okay, here I am. My girlfriend has suggested that I listen to Mahler. So I'm listening.
Mahler?
Mahler.
Mahler.
Mahler. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
I knew as soon as I said it, I had it wrong. Say
Mahler.
it again.
Mahler.
Mahler.
Don't
Mahler.
you just love Mahler? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So she suggested that I listen to this. So I'm listening to this while I'm riding the bike, right? Fantastic. Our oldest son, Harvey, comes down. I said, listen to this. I pass him my headphones. He goes, yeah. And he says, now listen to this. He takes my phone and he switches when he put on Miles Davis.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. If you don't even like jazz, Miles Davis just, do you know he committed suicide though?
Yeah.
But Miles Davis, what? Oh man. So that and it was just like my 22-year-old showing me the world of jazz.
Yeah.
So that was a real joy moment when I got my headphones back and there was magic coming out of them. And my final joy.
See, you thought all the kids were kind of like into rap and all that kind of stuff.
Well, it just surprises you. The other thing, he came in the other day, I was doing yoga, and he came in and he bowed to me and said, Namaste. And I went, how do you know that? How do you know that people say Namaste? And I'm probably pronouncing that wrong as well. But Namaste, right now. And I'm like, you're 22, you know things that I didn't teach you.
There you go.
So anyhow. And my final one is the fact that I did get up, at 7:45 rather than drag my butt out at 9:30, which
Brilliant.
So I'm really pleased about that because it's just habit.
It is.
And I want to get better habits. So those are my three things that brought me joy. Bill Rodgers, what's brought you joy?
Well, yesterday, seeing my boy, seeing number 2, going out there, and 4 lads living in the same house. Spotless.
It was, wasn't it?
But he's cleaning in his bedroom here, and he's not even here. He hasn't been here for 5 months.
I know.
And I said, what's happened here, Dominic? I've done it.
Yeah.
So he's vacuumed. Have you done this for us? And he went, no, we've got an inspection tomorrow.
I know.
The landlord's coming round.
Yeah.
And I remember watching the young ones with Rick Mail and Aid Edmondson and all that as a kid.
Yeah.
And their house was a tip.
Mm-hmm.
And they never cleaned up when the landlord came round. But yeah, clean kitchen.
I know.
All the plates put away.
Vacuumed. Everything was vacuumed.
Went to the toilet. I thought,
I know.
hello, it's clean in here.
I know. No fingerprints on the wall.
Nothing.
Yeah, it was good.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Deborah says, my joy's been watching my grandkids playing and making me laugh.
Wonderful.
You know, Shannon said I love moments like that with children.
Yeah, wonderful.
Absolutely, absolutely. Look at me, I'm much more handsome than they are.
Go ahead.
There you go. So that was the joy. That was seeing him was brilliant.
Uh-huh.
Also, we're going on wireless this afternoon, me and Kate, on BBC Wireless.
Yeah.
BBC Radio Lincolnshire 3:45 with
Carla.
Carla. Yeah, whoever Carla is. We've done a nice interview with them already, and they were very, very supportive of what Stepping Stone do. Haley says, "Can I hire him?" Dominic for cleaning up.
Oh, Dominic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed the reference.
I'm sure. Yeah, you pay him, he'll do it. So yeah, we've been on wireless. We've been doing a pre-record for wireless.
Yeah.
And we've got this show ready. Went to see Dominic, and lots of joy. Lots of joy.
It is. It's good, isn't it? Life is good. Life is good.
And also reintroducing myself to you as my best friend. I've often said to you that you're my best friend.
I am.
And I just want to talk about that for a minute. Pam says, "See my mum was my joy, hugging her and finally getting the bathroom painted."
Oh.
It's nice to see that the mum got top billing above the bathroom being painted. Yeah. I want to talk about friendship.
I do too.
I want to talk about friendship, and because I consider you not only my wife but my friend. I tell you everything, and I mean everything, my aches and pains, you know, and I chunter with you about everything like I used to do with my pals before I was married or before I had you as a girlfriend or whatever. I used to moan and groan to my pals, my bestest friends. I only got 2 in the world, and lost one of them now. He's gone, bless him. He's been dead nearly 10 years now, Chris.
No, more than 10.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, crikey. I've got a photograph of him on my wall, and I just think I think he's still here.
I know. I smack it and say, "You twat." Oh, sorry.
That was disgusting.
It's sort of a swear word.
Well, don't say that again.
A pregnant fish.
I know you.
But I do. I smack them.
You didn't know what that was.
How dare you die
birthday.
before you turn 50?
Yeah. 10 days before his 50th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's heartbreaking. Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Tell me about Friends, Kate.
Okay. The first...
Not the sitcom, by the way.
Yeah. The first study of Friends that I was able to find, Aristotle. Aristotle, the great Greek philosopher, wrote a lot about friends and friendship.
Wow.
And his famous quote, which I'll now share with you, is, "Without friends, no one would want to live."
Aristotle. When was Aristotle?
Oh, he's BC. I'm pretty sure he's BC.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Before Christmas.
Before Christmas.
Right.
"Without friends, no one would want to live, even if they had all other worldly things."
Wow.
So he really considered friends to be the most important thing. And he divided friendship, and it's useful. He divided friendship into 3 types of friends. You have utility friends, you have friends for pleasure, and you have perfect friendship. Okay?
Utility, pleasure and perfect. Okay.
Now, interestingly enough, the for pleasure isn't necessarily a good thing, right? Because what he talks about is that if you have friends for pleasure, all they want is a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's a bit like they use you. Yeah. So you might find these people would share hobbies, share common interests and whatnot, you know, maybe going to a sporting event with you or whatever, but they're just wanting to share pleasure. So they don't want to, as you just said, share your aches and pains.
Can you get us tickets for the latest?
They're friends for pleasure, right?
Yeah.
And so what the writing is, they would play golf with you because you're a lot of fun. You're funny. Now, the utility friends, these are friends who use you. These are friends who become your friend because they're going to gain something through your friendship, right? So it's a self-interested friendship, right? So they're up for favors, access to other people, recognition. So these would be people like business partners, colleagues, co-workers, maybe schoolmates, and they play golf with you because you've got a membership to the good club.
Right, so they're your utility friends, yeah?
Utility friends and pleasure friends. And then Aristotle, this is Aristotle's thinking, so you may differ, but he was a big guy, a big philosopher.
Yeah.
Perfect friendship is the whole rest of friendship. And this is friendship of the good. And it goes beyond utility and pleasure, and it's where you appreciate the other person for what they are. So this friendship is based on generosity. You are a shoulder for them, they are a shoulder for you. And here, I love this, and this is so true, and you will all hopefully have a friend who falls into this category. Neither time nor distance can break you apart. These friendships are based on respect, appreciation for each other, strong will to aid and assist the other because you recognize their greatness.
So they're good friends, yeah?
They're good friends.
So they will praise you.
They will hear your woes. They
Yeah.
will be there for you. And then they will also have you be there for them. And I love that. It transcends time and distance, which is magic. And I get that because some of my best friends are in Canada.
Yeah.
Some of my best friends are in Canada. Peter, who's on here today, right? I know him from when I was 5 years old.
Wow.
We were neighbors. Do you know what I mean? And so that's a friendship that transcends time and distance.
Well, there were three of us. We were like the Three Musketeers, and we lost one, our Chris, bless him. And my mate Russ was my other best mate, or I consider him my best mate. He came on, and we did a FaceTime thing the other day.
Just the other day,
yeah. Just the other day. I spoke to him for ages and ages.
Yeah.
And he's had his share of issues, bless him. But he's not been furloughed or anything like that. He's been working. He works for BT. So he's considered, a key worker, and he is. He's keeping communication going everywhere. But we picked up as though we'd been talking to each other yesterday.
Yeah.
And I haven't spoke to him for maybe about 15 months.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, on a face-to-face level.
Yeah.
I spoke to him on the old Facebook Messenger and all that. But on a face-to-face, how you doing, kid, level. And he sat in his garden. It was a lovely day.
In his dressing gown.
Yeah. In his dressing gown he was. And I just got out of the shower.
Yeah.
And my phone rang. I was just sitting on the corner of bed, dripping, with a towel on. And he sat there in his garden with his shorts and his dressing gown on. So it was like two old actors going, "Hello, love.
Yeah.
Hello, how are you?" "I'm very well, thank you." But we just carried on talking as though we'd met each other yesterday.
Yeah. So you know what he's talking
That's
about.
took a lot of years. That's took a lot of years. I mean,
Pleasure.
I've known Russ, like you just said about Peter, since you were 5. I've known Russ since I was like 16-year-old.
Yeah.
And we've grown up together. We used to go to the same pubs together. We had a band together. We sang together, and all sorts of things like that. Long time. Takes a long time for that.
Well, pleasure friends, you can meet them on holiday. We make some fantastic friends on holiday, and you can have a very instantaneous connection. Yeah. But pleasure friends are there for you, and you're there for them. Whereas this other, according to Aristotle, utility friends, they just want something from you. Yeah. They're only going to be your friend because their friend is the girl they fancy. That kind of thing, right? And then the other one, pleasure friends, they just want to be with you because you're fun.
Because you're
they
fun
don't.
to be with.
They don't want any of the garbage.
That's why I go out with mushrooms quite a lot. Yeah, well, mushrooms. I go out with quite a lot because they're a fun guy to be with.
Oh, the pain.
Anyway, carry on.
Carry on. Yes.
Yeah.
So what I have here, Bill, and I think is very interesting, that we can keep our eyes peeled for this when we're choosing our friends or choosing the friendships that we're going to nurture. Yeah, because friendships do need nurturing. Like your friend just called you after 15 months, which is looking after the friendship, so to speak. But I have here the 15 signs. Are you ready for this? Of a bad friend.
Are you listening, crew? 15,
Look out for this.
15 signs of a bad friend.
Yes, okay. And I have friends like this.
And this is from, is it, the research you've been doing is from lots and lots of places all over the place on Dr. Google.
That's right. So
you've been onto Dr. Google.
I've been onto Dr. Google, and these are the friends that you don't necessarily want in your life.
Okay.
So keep an eye out for this. Because the thing is, we only have so much time. And one of the things that's happened in lockdown is a lot of people have talked about that they've reconnected. They've reconnected with family members. They've reconnected. Like you or Russ, he called, "How's it going in lockdown?"
Yeah, but one of the things that I've seen during lockdown to help with mental health, and I've seen this all over the place on Google and various other places, for your own mental health right now, get rid of toxic relationships.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm talking about. 15 things to look out for that you don't want to cultivate those friendships.
Right, and Kate and I are not experts in everything that we know about. We're not psychologists or anything like that. But I am sure there are toxic friendships out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Carry on.
Here we have They only call when they want something.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might have a relative like that. You might have a friend like that. Or they only call when they want something, right? And when they do, or when you're hanging out with them, the conversation is never equal. Yeah.
Okay.
They're not interested in what you have to say.
Right.
Is really what that's about, right?
Yeah.
Here's something that you really need to look out for: is they put you down or make fun of you in front of others.
Ah.
Now, it's a dangerous one because your sense of humor, Bill, being from South Yorkshire, is very much taking the mick, and whatnot. And it took me a while to get used to that because the Canadian culture is quite different, and a lot of things that your friends, when I first moved here, would say to me, I would take offense to, right? And you had to gently whisper in my ear, no, honey, that means he likes you. Oh, really? Yeah, because he's having a bit of banter with you. Don't take it so personally. But if you have a friend who's actually making fun of you, putting you down, maybe that's a friend that you don't want to spend so much time
absolutely,
with. That's
absolutely.
what we're talking about, right?
I think the South Yorkshire banter is exactly that.
Yeah, exactly.
You
But
know.
I had to learn that, So my point is that, gauge what's going on here, right? Is that person actually putting you down, or is that person having a bit of fun, having a bit of a laugh, and it's their sense of humor? Yeah. Basically, you can gauge it this way. Number 4, a negative friend makes you feel bad when you're with them. Yeah. Okay.
I've witnessed that.
Yeah. Go on.
No, it's just when in Sheffield, when there used to be 2 girls that used to be in our gang sort of thing, and one was quite pretty and the other one wasn't so pretty, and the pretty one used to belittle her all the time.
Yeah.
Public.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not wearing that, are you?
Yeah.
Why have you got that on again?
Bless.
You've had them shoes for ages. All very backhanded comments, and at the time we completely ignored it and all that kind of thing. But thinking about it now in reflection, I remember what she used to say to the other one. Oh, God, you've got that jumper on again.
I know.
Very backhanded comment.
So making that girl feel bad when she was with
in
her.
public.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they're still friends. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, another thing about negative friendship, we'll get on to the good stuff in a bit, right? Is they can be aggressively competitive.
Right.
So there's nothing wrong with having a competitive relationship, right? And you're trying to make each other better by being competitive. But if they're aggressively competitive, they want you to lose. They want to beat you.
This can seriously affect your mental health, though.
Absolutely. That's why we're doing that.
Your self-esteem, your self-confidence.
Yeah, definitely.
They can deflate you in an instant.
That's right. And here's one. They aren't happy for you when something good happens to you.
Oh, jealousy.
Yeah.
The green-eyed monster.
Green-eyed monster. Yeah. A true friend will want you to succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we all have that. Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should always champion our friends, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Especially in the world of mental health. If somebody makes an effort to get up in the morning, if somebody makes an effort to shower, if somebody makes an effort to get dressed, if somebody makes an effort to come outside,
we celebrate
we
their
should
success.
celebrate that as a
That's
victory.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Another negative thing, they can bring drama into your life.
Oh.
So they bring trouble. And what are you supposed to do with it, And if they're a true friend, you'll be there to help them. And they'll be there to help you. If they're just a negative friend, they're bringing drama, and there's no you can do about it.
What do they do this all the time, don't they? They get onto Facebook. They put a one line of trouble, right?
Yes.
Oh, I am really hacked off today. If somebody doesn't talk to me, I don't know what I'm going to do. And you get 44 people with PM me, babe.
Yep.
PM me, babe.
Yeah.
What's wrong, babe? And they don't respond.
And they disappear.
Yeah. They
put out the drama and then they disappear.
Drama is the one.
Yeah.
Drama. Yeah. Got you with that one, Kate. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
They bitch behind your back.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Your relationship feels like it's built on conditions. So you have to behave in a certain way to keep their relationship.
I'll turn up at 5 o'clock as long as you don't tell Gary I'm coming.
Yeah. So you are forced to not be yourself.
Yeah.
In order to keep the relationship.
I wonder if any of our crew have got friends that we've just listed Let us know, crew, if you've got any
Yeah.
friends like this that Kate's talking about.
Yeah.
Please let us know, because I'd be interested to find out.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, then. Carry
No,
on.
no, no, not at all. I've got one that really rings with me.
Mm-hmm.
They bail on you. They
They
bail
bail?
on you. B-A-I-L.
Oh,
Bail.
they do a runner.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened to you?
So this happened to me profoundly when I first became mentally ill.
Oh, okay.
What I thought was best friend of the time
Yeah.
completely abandoned me. We'd been to drama school together, and after drama school, we'd gotten a flat together, and we had a beautiful little cottage, and we lived together, and we played together, and I think we even had a job at the same theater as ushers, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
And when I became mentally ill, she disappeared. She disappeared completely.
Wow.
Never came to see me, never wrote, never phoned, nothing. I tried to get in touch with her, because I thought she would understand.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
About 7 or 8 months after I was first hospitalized, I got a letter from her, fairly short, but it was an apology. And she said, "I'm really sorry. I spoke to you on the phone. You probably don't remember." And I didn't, because I was psychotic at the time. Yeah. And I got scared, said she. So our friendship was conditional, right? It was literally as long as I was well. So it wasn't as in sickness as in health. And I'll never forget that, right? And even in her letter of apology, it was more about her making amends for herself than it was about explaining something to me or nurturing me or taking care of me. So that, to me, bless her, was the most toxic relationship I've ever had. Men, women, children included. She broke my heart.
Even though she admitted that she was scared of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had other friends who were friends from the same place, from drama school and from Vancouver when I lived there and stuff like that. They came through. They wrote to me. One of them had her mother write to me, stuff like that. My teacher, he was in Australia by that time. He wrote to my psychiatrist, because the psychiatrist was like, "Is she really an actress? Is she making this up? Did she really go to the best drama school in
But
Canada?"
your best friend
abandoned
you.
Yeah.
Right.
Disappeared off the face of the earth. And I chased her for a bit, "Come and see me, come and call me, where are you?" And nothing.
Just at the time when you needed a friend.
That would be the equation.
Okay.
That's why I remember so strongly, but I really, what don't break us makes us stronger. And what it taught me was that I always have to be independent. I can have friendships, yeah, but I always need to never lose myself in that friendship. I need to keep my feet strong and my shoulders.
And that's for your own mental health.
That's for my own mental health.
Okay.
That's what I learned from that.
Okay,
book.
lovely. Moving on, please.
Really quickly, let's just do the last few. They use secrets against you and share them.
Ali
They're
said-
not to be trusted.
Ali said, "I had a lot of toxic friends. Fortunately, most of them no longer in my life. Few, but it really does impact on your mental health." That's exactly what you just said.
That's exactly, and it's a wonderful place to be when you realize that you don't have any toxic friends. And Pam saying, "I had a quote friend who is only interested in herself and has no intention of listening to me and my problems, and is all I have to listen to her and help her." Exactly. A one-sided friendship, yeah. And they happen. And they can go on for ages and ages. And what I would do is what Ali's done. She's culled her friends. CULLED, culled her friends.
Good for your mental health.
Very good for your mental health to have, better to have a short list of friends that are true friends, that are these perfect friends, as Aristotle calls them, than to have lots of friends who really are only there for themselves.
Good, let's crack on.
Okay.
Good. Super.
They talk
Super.
about other friends behind their back.
Oh,
So-
what to you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
oh.
So beware of that, because if they're talking about other people, they're probably talking about you.
As my old dad used to say, while they're talking about me, they're leaving other ones alone.
Yep.
Let them talk about me. I'm not bothered.
But, and here's my final one.
Yeah.
They exclude you from things they know you might enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, where I've seen that really strongly is in kids' birthday parties.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You and I, when we had the kids' birthday parties, we invited the whole class
I
because
know.
we didn't want anybody not to enjoy.
And that's
We took them to the farm and they
Well,
petted animals. And
I think that's not to do with the kids. That's to do with the mums getting on with the other mums.
yeah.
So that's so-called friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that happens. That
Yeah,
happens.
yeah.
But yeah.
But anyhow, so those are the negative things to keep an eye out for with your, as Pam says, quote friends.
Well, a bad friendship can actually impact on your mental health
totally
severely.
Bill. Oh
severely.
my goodness gracious.
Especially if you're in recovery.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Is it other side
I
of the
have
coin?
the other side of the coin, and these are really brief because I think everyone will recognize them. 8 qualities of a good friend.
Yeah.
Of a good friend, yeah. They're honest. And
Good friends
therefore
are
you
honest.
can be honest. You can be yourself and they can be their self. They're accepting.
I don't know what you mean, ugly.
Oh, shut up.
Okay.
Fatty.
Thank you.
Yes. They're always accepting. Yeah. So you don't have to put on airs. You don't have to pretend to be. They accept you, who and what, flaws included, that you are, right? They are low maintenance. And that's really important. I totally get that, right? They don't take a lot of looking after. Like you just said with your friend Russ. You know, you haven't talked for 15 months. That's really low maintenance. You know, he doesn't have to check up on you all the time and make sure everything's
I
good
think a lot
all
of
the
that's to do with personality as well. I remember when I you know, I'm a working actor and I've worked in theatres all over the country. But one of the nicest things that was ever said to me was a stage management crew at the Crucible. Actors can be very, very needy, very high maintenance. Where's my cup of tea? Where's my dressing room?
Absolutely.
My dressing room is cold. And I was told by 2 crew and one of the stage management at the Crucible in Sheffield, Bill, we love working with you. And I said, why? And they said, you're probably one of the most low maintenance actors we've ever worked with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just point me in the right direction and I'll go and say the words for you, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, low maintenance. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Low maintenance friendships, non-judgmental.
Yeah.
That sounds like loyal.
Yes.
You know what? That's my number one.
Loyalty.
Loyalty. If I can trust you that you have got my back, then you are my friend. You are my friend.
Loyalty.
They're respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trustworthy.
Yeah.
Yep. And good listener.
You what?
No, not their hard of hearing. They're a good listener. Yeah. You with me?
Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here's one that I love, and I've got a metaphor for it. Empathy. A good friend is empathetic.
Yeah.
A good friend, especially if you're mentally ill, it's wonderful to have someone who truly understands, or at least tries to understand. And the metaphor that I have is that if you fall in a hole, right? So you've fallen in a hole, right? Which could be a metaphor for mental illness.
You've got 1 minute.
You've fallen in a hole, right? And somebody comes by and says, oh, you're in a hole. Wait there, I'll just go get help.
Yeah.
That's sympathy.
Yeah.
They're being sympathetic. They're help, right? If you're in that hole and a friend comes by and they get into the hole with you and they talk to you and they listen to you, that is empathy. So that's the difference, I think, beautifully illustrated between sympathy and empathy. And really good friends are empathetic.
Unless you're Clive Mantle and Dawn French falls into a big hole full of water and he just laughs at her. Of course.
I've seen that scene.
I know.
The Vicar of Dibley, people. Fantastic. Okay, so that's my take on friendship.
Brilliant. And friendship's very, very important when you are struggling. Friendship's very important when you are having a bad day or a bad week or just a bad hour and you want someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that I want to kind of follow through on that with is allies and advocates.
Oh.
Because I think an extension of friendship personally, right? An extension of friendship is having someone who you can rely on, someone who you can trust, as well as being a friend, but they can be a mental health ally and supporter as well.
Like my psychiatrist, he's not my friend, but he is definitely an ally.
Yeah.
He's in my court.
But it's good to have somebody out there who's a mental health ally as well, who's not professional.
Yeah.
In a non-judgmental, non-clinical kind of way. Like our crew here that we have on our crazy crew online, I would consider every single one of them now a friend, but also I would trust them to be a really good advocate for each other and peer support, basically.
Yeah.
Supporting each other with mental health issues. So I had a little look on Dr. Google to find out what allies really were. What is an ally? What is an advocate when it comes to mental health? And before I could explore that, I did a bit of research into the numbers again, and the numbers range from 1 in 5 to 1 in 3 people will experience some kind of mental health problem in their life. Now, that's from 0 to 99. They'll have some kind of mental health issue, but during that time, they will make a lot of friends as well, and a lot of enemies, I'm sure, and a lot of friends who they thought were friends that weren't. And something like a mental health challenge, problem, issue, sorts the wheat from the chaff when it comes to friendship, I think.
Oh, yes.
Right? People who experience some kind of mental health problem in their life, right, tend to lose friends very, very quickly. Like you cited your friend. It's about fear. They don't understand. They're worried. They're scared for themselves, really.
Yes.
Because, and I'll tell you why. The thing about mental health, right, it can be and look like anything. It can look like anxiety to depression to anger to tears to happiness to sadness to bipolar, right? But the thing is, because it does have so many different faces, we as an ally or an advocate, we get confused initially. Unfortunately, Hollywood paints a different picture to this. This is what it says on my Dr. Google.
Yep.
Everybody in a film about mental health in Hollywood has got exactly the same problem. They're going to eat, kill, stab, or just generally poison someone. They don't have general anxiety disorder or seasonal affective disorder. You know, oh, I need some sunlight, otherwise I'm going to eat someone with a nice bottle of Chianti. You know what I mean? Hollywood kind of gives a completely different picture altogether. But much of the stigma that surrounds that is the stereotype in the Hollywood portrayal of stigma and mental health, because we are scared of it, because Hollywood presents it in such a horrible, fiendish, nasty, grisly kind of way, right? What we are looking for, if we want a good advocate, a good friend, right, is because there's the experts, you know, those that the elusive power of they and all that kind of stuff. They say, they do, they say.
Yeah, them.
They say that there is a culture out there of misinformation and silence. We are told the wrong thing, or we're told nothing at all.
Okay.
Right? That truly surrounds mental illness and what it's like living with it.
Right.
So what we need to do as advocates and allies, and those of us that's got an advocate and an ally, like yourself, which is me, right? What we need to do, we need to create safe spaces.
Okay.
We need to start having conversations about mental health from both sides of this medication card.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, and that's what hopefully we're doing with the crew.
Yeah.
We're giving support, online peer support, where we can sit here and talk about nothing or something for an hour and get it off our chest, and hopefully know that there's somebody at the end of that who's going to help us out.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
And this is what we're trying to do in a non-clinical, kind of uniform, judgmental place. So hopefully we've opened it up, because I believe that everybody who's online with us today is an advocate of some description.
We're the ones who've come out.
Yeah.
You know, and for every one of us who's come out, there are 100 that are at home by themselves, suffering in silence.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And we started this whole campaign about stop the stigma and stop the silence.
That's right.
Give me a voice. Let me stand up.
That's what we do.
Yeah. And hopefully that's what we do with Stepping Stone Theatre, that the company get on stage. And hopefully that's what we're doing here with our crew online today, allowing people to share, talk to each other, talk about mental health recovery, or even just offer, I'm here for you, mate. I'm here for you. Yeah? So one of the things I want to talk about being a good ally and a good advocate, right? You've got your list. I've found out.
Oh, you're going to do the good stuff.
I'm going to do the good stuff about being an ally. Not about your toxic friends or friends that might...
If you were a girl, you'd know what I was
talking about. I know exactly
about.
what you're talking about.
Okay.
I know exactly.
All right, carry on. Babe.
And men do it the same as well, but men do it openly. I think that by taking the mickey, as you say, using sarcasm
Yeah.
on each, hey up Slim, how you doing?
Yeah.
That don't get any thinner.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
As I lost weight, or should I have gone to Specsavers?
Yeah. But I think a
You know.
woman's friendship is different than a man's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Women, they tend to bond very quickly, and then they sort stuff out. Whereas men, I think, sort stuff out and then they become mates.
That's good. I like that.
I think.
I'll sit with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So, in order to be a good ally and a good advocate, I think number one on my list, and I've done my research, but I thought this anyway, is to educate yourself about mental health.
Yeah.
Find out what it really is. Don't watch your Jack Nicholsons and your Here's Johnny and all that kind of stuff, and your horror movies. It's not about that. It's not about Anthony Perkins, you know, dressing up as his mother in the rocking chair and all that. It's about finding out what it really is. Seek the knowledge. Because there's a big difference between generalized anxiety disorder and bipolar. So I need to know, as your friend, your ally, your colleague, your advocate, I need to know what you're going through. And the only way I'm going to do that is by asking you what you got, because you do have depression, you do have anxiety, you do have bipolar. What day is it? No, but what day is it? I need to know.
Yeah.
If you're having or you might just be sitting there. I love to a t-shirt, Bill. Oh, that's all right. Just says free bear hugs. That's all. Free hugs. And I will give a free hug to anybody when I see them, if we're allowed. But as your advocate, I need to know what you're going through. What day is it?
Yep.
Is it a bipolar day? Is it, you know?
Yep.
So the key to being a good advocate, number one, educate yourself.
Good point.
Find out what it is, right?
Yep.
Have an understanding of what the people are going through. That doesn't mean asking you to explain to me what it's all about. Just let me know how you are and what it is, right? And I can then tell myself, right, the next time I see those signs, I know that you're having a bipolar day, or that you're having a generalized anxiety day, or maybe you're just thinking too hard.
Maybe I have lots of good days as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I have to be aware. So as a good advocate, I have to educate myself into what you're going through. Yeah, and what the feelings are that you're going through.
Yeah.
Number two, also check on the people that you're being the advocate or the ally for. This could be in the workplace. This could be in Stepping Stone. I always say, how are you? I always say to everybody in the crew, how are you feeling today? How are we doing? You know, anything upset you? What we're going through today? How are you? Always check, right? And my old dad, and I've instilled this in the kids, measure twice, cut once, right? So always ask twice. That lovely campaign that's going on now.
Yeah, the Mind campaign.
The Mind campaign about asking twice.
Brilliant.
Always ask twice. How you doing? And as I often joke to you, that sarcasm, I say, how you doing, Kate? You say, I'm fine. I say, tell your face.
You do.
Tell your face. You know what I mean? In that lovely sarcastic way that I've got, meaning I'm asking you again.
Yeah.
If you are fine, tell your face that you're fine. Yeah? Tell your face. And interesting enough, you often do. You often do tell your face, and a little smile or a little perk comes up on the old boat race there. So check. Check that you're comfortable with me asking as well. Do you mind me asking? But you don't. If you are a good advocate, you will check, because in some cases, you know, you don't want to be overbearing. In some cases, whoever you're asking may not want you constantly saying, "Are you all right? Are you all right? Are you all right?"
You and I have had that where I've said to you, "Stop asking me how I am. Just leave me alone." But the ability to check
and be aware that might happen.
Absolutely.
Leave me alone. Okay. You know, it's okay. Some people who are mentally ill as well, on this same topic about checking, they may not want you to know right now. Ask me in 5 minutes. Just go with, I've got a bit of anxiety, but breathing, meditation, the calming techniques I have, I might be able to get rid of it. If I need you, I know where you are.
Okay.
So be aware that no is a perfectly good answer. I'm all right. Just go away for now. Yeah. Number three, ask if there's anything that you can help with. If there's anything I can do. If someone discloses to you that their mental health there's a problem, a great way to support them is to say, is there anything I can do to help you from now to where you feel better?
Yeah.
Right? It's important to remember that mental health looks different on everyone. Right? It isn't about, you could be sat there going, and I could be really worried about it, and I say, Kate, is everything okay? And you said, yeah, I'm just thinking about the next thing for the show. I'm just thinking about what to have for dinner. Because your I am depressed face is very similar to your
thinking face.
Thinking face. No, seriously. Seriously.
I love it. I
Seriously.
love it.
And as an advocate, I should be aware that that's what you're going through.
Okay.
As your, not carer, but ally and advocate in your journey of mental wellness, I should be aware that that is what you're going through. Yeah?
You learn.
You learn. And you learn by asking the right questions. And if I ask the right questions, I feel better equipped to the journey that you're on. I feel better equipped to the tools that I might want to use. And I'm not just kind of mollycoddling you. You know what I mean? And I would genuinely say, is there anything that I can do? Okay. No, not at the moment. I'm thinking.
Yeah. I'm very pretty, aren't I?
Yeah. Yeah, when you think, yeah.
Okay.
But don't forget, it's my face that you're looking at, so you can't really say that you're pretty when you're looking at this visage, can you? This, to me, is really important, and this is why we started all the projects that we do within Stepping Stone, the strollers, the walking group that we've got, the online support groups that we've got, the writing we've got, and the theatre company. This is incredibly important to me. Engage others in the conversation about mental health. Stop the silence. Stop the stigma. And I'm not just talking about people who are, carriers of anxiety, depression, etc. I'm talking about your mates that you bump into at the pub, people that you live next door to. Encourage them to be aware of the mental health. There's massive campaigns out there. You said yourself that when we first started all this work, it was like rolling a rock up a hill to encourage people to listen to you as an advocate yourself about mental health and how mental health should be given a stronger platform. People, and I've seen you working in New Zealand, I've seen you working in Australia, I've seen you working in Canada, I've seen you working in the States, I've seen you working in the UK, right? Encourage. I saw you speak to 2,000 school kids in New Zealand, and you blew them away. You shocked them, these kids and the staff, with your honesty and your openness about being chained to a bed and injected with haloperidol, which is a chemical lobotomy. You were very, very open about your treatments during mental illness and time in hospital. And that's what I'm on about. Encourage others to have conversations about mental health. Society undermines mental health in countless ways, and we allow social problems to flourish because we're too uncomfortable to talk about them.
Yeah, and it's evolving.
It is evolving.
It is evolving. Even us doing this show, we are part of the evolution.
Good.
And part of the, as you say, the silence, stopping the silence, because that leads to stigma.
Well, look how many years it got us to talk about sexual health as well as mental health. And now they're teaching it to 4-year-olds in schools.
Yeah.
It's now on the curriculum. And I believe that mental health will be on the curriculum.
Yeah.
Some kind of mental health training should be on the curriculum. Not just mummy's not feeling so well. We know why she's not feeling so well. We've educated our 2 kids to talk openly about it.
Absolutely.
About your mental health as their mum and their own mental health as 2 young men growing up in this world right now. So one of the things that they advocate as advocates, right? Yeah. Being an advocate also means taking time to educate others. Advocacy is easy when people agree with you, but it's critical to engage people who may not be as informed as you, because you are a carer or whatever, about mental health. These interactions, though more difficult, are just as important of breaking down the stereotypes and ending the negative stigma that surrounds mental health.
I like Dr. Google. That's very well put.
It's a good one.
Very
it's a good
well
one.
Put. And it's absolutely true.
Yeah.
And
the more we know, the more we know.
Yeah, exactly.
We should. It's not about education. It's about breaking down the myths, the Hollywood myths of this is what mental health madness is all about. Right?
Absolutely.
What it is all about is anxiety, triggers, depression, what's bothering you, biochemistry. It's lots and lots and lots of different things. It's not just, oh, I'm having a bad day. It's lots and lots of things. Ignoring mental health doesn't make it go away. Oh, I'm not bothered about that. Don't concern me. Don't happen in my family. Until you start tracing it back. You know what I mean? Talk about it. And it's time that we did encourage other people to talk about it. Take care of your own mental health if you are an advocate.
Absolutely. You must always give from a full cup.
It's Carers Week this week, Carers Appreciation Week all over the country. We spoke about this the other day. A lot of carers tend to forget about their own mental health, their own fatigue levels, and even their own physical health. So in order to be a good advocate, in order to be a good carer, in order to be a good ally to someone who does have mental health problems, take care of yourself. And if you feel that you need to go out and have a cup of tea without your caree, or a cup of tea without your friend that you're allying, get yourself gone. Go and have a cup of tea and a cake and talk to somebody completely different.
About no.
Social distancing applies, of course. But go and grab a Mackie D's coffee or something and sit on a bench. Just have 5 or 10 minutes by yourself.
Yeah, look after yourself.
Look after
whatever that means,
yourself.
look after yourself.
Absolutely.
Give from a full cup.
Absolutely. And then you will truly be a wonderful mental health advocate. And the final thing, you talked about it, about jumping in the hole. One of the things that they do say, right, is that expression of empathy.
Yes.
When you can't relate with someone, what someone's going through, and you can't help them, don't just panic and go, oh. Try and be empathetic. Try and be understanding. Or
walk
just
a mile in their shoes.
Walk a mile in their shoes, because that can do just as much good in somebody's life as saying, right, I'm going to drive you to the pharmacy, or I'm going to drive you to the psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Having 5 minutes on that bench with them as well as yourself could make a big, big difference. Like I often say, a smile is a curve that can straighten out many things. And even if you just sit down and let's sit down 5 minutes and just relax. I want to quote from the National Alliance of Mental Illness, or NAMI.
I've worked for them.
NAMI. It's important to consider that someone may be coming from a place of fear, confusion, or hurt. If we imagine how we might deal with a similar situation, we can then allow ourselves to develop solutions that may be intuitive and accessible. So like you just said, walk a mile in my shoes and you might realise what I'm going through, right? And what they don't want to hear is, oh, I know what you mean. Oh, I know what you mean. You know, I know what you mean. And that's one of the things I want to talk about. Be careful of the language that you use around people as well. You know, hey up, you crazy fool, said Mr. T. Don't. Just because each one of those could be a trigger. Be careful of the language that you use. But living with mental illness is not easy, but it can help someone to know that others out there understand and they don't see them as being different. Like I often say, label jars, not people. I never look at you and think, oh my goodness, she's mentally ill. I look at you and think, where are we today? What's happening? What can I do? And champion it. I mean, one of the things that they say is champion mental health. Get out there and wave the flag. There's a lot of flag waving been going on over this last few weeks about various issues. Get out and wave the flag for mental health, because when this is all over and people do leave their homes, there's going to be a lot of people out there are going to need a friend, a good friend, an advocate, and an ally. A huge part about being a mental health ally is championing the cause. Normalising it in conversations and attempting to make space for it. If you're a mental health advocate, make it positive. Having a conversation with a co-worker, a friend, a family member, a cousin, an uncle, or whatever, on the stigma that surrounds the mental health, it will start to crumble. We will, like the Berlin Wall, we will knock it down. And if you want to seek help and therapy, or your ally does, encourage it. Make it a normal way of life. You had a phone call with your psychiatrist yesterday. and it was very matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
You sat in the conservatory with your mobile going, yep, I'm thinking about this, and this, and I want to take me later drugs in the morning. And very matter of fact, there was no tears, there was no emotion, and I was not standing over you with a frying pan going, tell him how you really are. There was none of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally acceptable and getting better and better because of people like Stephen Fry, like yourself, Ruby Wax, and many others who are very open about it. Politicians talking openly on TV. Winners of Ready Steady Cook or Bake Off and very openly. David Harewood doing that the other day, and also documentaries about mental health and institutions. It is getting better, but to be a true, fully blown, full on advocate and an ally, we have to get out there and we say, look, let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not get angry. Let's not get aggressive. Let's not go, no. My Carey's got bipolar. Well, no. My Carey has got depression and bipolar. No. No. Let's talk about it for the sake of the stigma and for the sake of the movement that mental health, like it said on this bit of paper, it ain't going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's here to stay. And I think after lockdown, it's going to be even more prevalent.
Definitely. It's just a formula, a recipe is the word I'm looking for.
Absolutely.
A recipe for people's mental health to suffer. So we're ready. We're ready.
We are ready. I am ready. I am fully armed and charged as an advocate. And you, my friend, you've got all
I'm
the
a friend.
You, my
I'll
friend.
be a friend.
Yeah.
You be the advocate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is 14:33. What a wonderful afternoon
Well,
again.
that was perfect.
That went really quickly.
So we talked about friendship and we talked about
Advocacy.
mental health advocacy.
And our friends on here have been talking to each other about all sorts of things.
Ah, good.
All sorts of things. And the one I like the best is when Haley said, absolutely, Bill. Now
Absolutely,
is
Bill.
the time. The mental health revolution, if there is such a thing, starts right now.
The
Let's
revolution
talk about
begins
it.
here.
Let's all be allies. Let's all be advocates.
Let's all be friends.
Let's all be friends. Because when you've got friends and neighbours, you know, everybody needs good neighbours.
Oh, Bill.
Oh, with a little understanding, we can find a perfect plan. Neighbours. Everybody needs good neighbours. Oh, thanks very much, guys. It's been brilliant again. If you want to talk about anything, keep talking amongst yourselves or talk to us. You've got our emails. Kate and I do have to dash off. We are finalists in the East Midlands Awards ceremony. It's an online affair, but I have got a new frock. And I'm going to clean my teeth and brush my hair. And Kate's going to put her new frock on, aren't you?
I am indeed.
And we will be back online tonight. Don't forget, 3:40 or 3:45 today, we're on BBC Radio Lincolnshire talking about all things mental health and other stuff besides. Kate, my friend.
Yes, my advocate.
It's been fabulous.
My ally.
Your ally.
My partner in life, and so I'm going to start to introduce you as my ally and
oh,
advocate.
okay, that's lovely.
Not
lovely.
to mention best friend.
Best friend.
Yeah.
Say to your mates over there, see you later.
Hey, mates. Bye-bye.
Bye. That was good. Do that
Is that good? Bye-bye.
Lovely. You sound like a little kid.
I need a new book, Bill.
Okay.
We're going to have to go out.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere.
Ooh.
No, we're going out.
Yeah, we're going out.
We're going out tonight. We're
going
dressing
out,
up.
all the way to in front of the computer.
We are indeed. This is the Big Old Yorkshire Pudding. Say thank you very much, crew. We will see you tomorrow at our normal time of 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
Watch the social media for any advice that may come from that. Kate, I'd like to say to your camera, ta-ra to your pals.
Ta-ra to your pals.
No, you don't get it, do you? Say bye-bye, Kate.
Bye-bye, Kate.
No. Say bye-bye, Kate.
Bye-bye, Kate.
Oh, for goodness sake. I'm going to put this up out of embarrassment so they can't see me now. Just say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.